With all the updates, character drops, and new maps that OPBR keeps bringing to us, it's understandable that somewhere along the line, some things will either be left behind or forgotten. There's over 280 characters in the game so far, and despite the game developers doing their best to maintain the meta, not really. Some of the units in the game are just outright unplayable. Granted, it makes sense for some of the characters to not be able to keep up. I mean, if you're one of the guys that expect to get a 5-win streak by playing as HimmothyOPBR, then yeah, but there are some older units that I believe are long overdue for some kind of a buff. This is going to be the beginning of a 3-part series where I go over some characters of each color type that I believe would be playable in the meta if there were some changes. Let's get started. Today we're focusing on green characters, and I wanted to start here. Daimyo of Curry, Kozuki Oden, the green runner. As a runner in today's meta, a crucial skill to have is the ability to capture flags while enemies are still in the treasure area. Unfortunately, he doesn't have that ability, so unless you're able to get whoever's defending the treasure out of there, you're out of luck. And it's unfortunate because he resists being staggered or down when capturing, and his capture speed increases by 50% if your health is above 70%. So he'd be such a beast if that ability was granted to him. Personally, I think they're okay, but if we could also speed up some of his normal attack mechanics, then he'd be just that much better. Finally, and it might be a far-fetched ask, but they definitely should give him that immunity trait in the treasure area that the new Bounty Fest Oden has. I mean, this dude's an EX, but I think it's safe to argue that his Bounty Fest version is so much better than him in terms of traits and usability. Like, just copy and paste the traits over at this point, seriously. But that's just me. Next, I want to talk about Dracule Mihawk, the green defender. He's actually not too bad, but you don't get to see too many people using him in the game right now, and I think it's for valid reasons. First, he doesn't fill the treasure gauge to 150%, which I mean, fine, not every defender needs to have that ability, but with so much hype around him as a character, I don't see why not. I mean, they gave it to Nolan. Why not him, you feel me? Anyway, in terms of combat, they need to pick up the pace with this guy. His normals leave a lot to be desired, and his skill 1, although powerful, takes a bit too long to charge up if you ask me. He does have a lot of positives as he is now though. His skill 1 does get cooled down by 50% when he's in the treasure area, and when his HP is over 50%, his damage is reduced by 30, and he gets an extra life if he gets hit by an attack that would KO him. An extra 30% of damage gets reduced, and damage to attackers gets upped by 20, but when he's in the treasure area. Those last 2 traits would be much more fruitful if he could fill the treasure gauge more. In a meta where so many runners are able to cap flags, even when the enemy's in the treasure area, he's gotta be able to fill that gauge up, man, for real. Matter of fact, give him the passive trait too, to where it fills up when he's in the treasure area regardless of whether or not enemies are there. Stop playing with the world's strongest swordsman, y'all, like for real, please. Since we're on the topic of defenders, we gotta talk about this guy too. Superhuman Katakuri. Now y'all seen how well they did the other Katakuri. I think it's only right that they bless this version as well. Give bro the 150%, give bro the passive ability to fill up the treasure gauge too. He already reduces damage by 30% and ups damage to attackers by 20% when he's in the treasure area. And on top of the fact that he doesn't get down but staggered, y'all already have the keys y'all need to make big bro Katakuri top 5 in the game. What are we waiting on? Also, and this is just something that I want personally, but that's skill 1, Buzz Cut Mochi. Imagine if it was a freaking whole skill, bro, he would be a problem. Again, I understand that not every defender needs the ability to fill the treasure gauge to 150%, but Nolan, out of all characters, Katakuri at least, man, stop playing with big bro. Finally, I want to talk about the world's strongest man, Edward Newgate, the green attacker. We're in a similar situation with Oden here, where his EX was introduced as a light unit, and he has basically everything that I think this Whitebeard deserves to have as well in terms of traits. The green Whitebeard nullifies freeze time by 80% and outright nullifies tremor. Duh. But why not just outright reduce status infliction time altogether? Like by 80%, you know, similar to Cracker and to Ulti. And to even the EX version. These are basically the same Whitebeard, except one is shirtless. His skill 2, although powerful, takes such a long time to load that he end up getting wrecked before you even get it off, since it ain't an invincible skill. Either shorten the time on that or make it invincible. Pick one, please. He's fairly playable, I guess, but his normal mechanics are slow to me, so y'all gotta up that too. Overall, just like with Oden, just copy and paste it for real. If you gotta be lazy to get it done, be lazy to get it done. You know what I'm saying? You guys are playing with the world's strongest man. Why? But those are who I think amongst the green units that deserve an upgrade. Y'all probably have y'all opinions, and I want to hear them. So let me know in the comment section. I'm gonna hit y'all with a different color type units a different time though, because that's gonna be it for me today. So until next time, y'all, please take care.